the story that Trump presented to the American people that brought him to power in 2016. America used to be great, but it was being run into the ground by people who, fundamentally, despised their own country and sneered at the beating heart of it, the regular American working family. These people, who thought they were better than the average American, decided to use their positions of power and privilege to do your country down and raise other countries up in their estimation and their prestige, while filthily enriching themselves at your expense. It is not acceptable, at least not to anyone who loves America. To hell with these traitors. It was time to make America great again, and that was Trump's message. He repudiated every single member of the coastal elite and won a great victory that, to be frank, I think only he could have won. Because there is only one Donald J. Trump, with his character, with his fame, his self-evident patriotic spirit. And I think that is what touched the hearts of so many millions of Americans and propelled him to glory.
What's going on, everyone? Soxokin here today, and you saw from the intro, they really wanted to be Trump, bro. I don't know what it is, you know. Like, I just been thinking about this day, like, wow. So Trump returns to Twitter and he posts his mugshot. His message is to never surrender, right? And I gave that long intro, and I think a lot of people will appreciate it, is because I understand why people voted for Trump, right? I really do. My father, I mean, I found this out in hindsight, but my father voted for Donald Trump in 2016, right? And if people are not familiar with my story, I come from not two-parent household, but I came from a more co-parenting situation. My dad was a Republican. My mom was a Democrat. She became a Democrat after Bush because of Obama, right? And my dad voted for Obama in 2008. And after Obama, like throughout the first term, my dad was just like, he had a rude awakening with Obama because, as people know, I'm Haitian, right? I'm a descendant from Haitian parents. And their country is known for having corrupt politicians that enrich themselves at the expense of the country. And I believe Haiti is a socialist country, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I haven't talked to my dad in a long time about politics, but my dad told me how he saw how kind of not corrupt, but how Obama was working off his own self-interest. And my dad felt like Democrats were all talk because they use the working people. We're fighting for you as a pretense, as a shield or an excuse to do actions that, looking back, only really benefited them, right? And I think that's why my dad says, no, I'm not voting Democrat again. Since 2008, my dad did that. After, I forgot what incident it led into this thing. My dad didn't like the message that Obama was preaching after he got into office. Before Obama got into office, if I don't win, it's because I didn't pitch to the American people well enough, not because of the color of my skin. My dad said he loved that message. And then when he got in office, all this man was doing was pushing race narratives, right? And that's what turned my dad away from Obama in 2012. Now, Mitt Romney didn't win. And in 2016, my dad's like, hey, I like Trump. Trump is successful. Trump is really rich. He doesn't need our money. He doesn't need to lie. This is a demotion for him, right? Everything practically screamed, yo, he's not doing this off of his own self-interest, right? My dad made me watch. Like, I remember growing up watching Home Alone. My dad still loved Trump. Successful business. And that was common throughout the whole black community. Rappers were rapping about how they want to be like Trump. But the minute the man want to run as a Republican candidate, you hate him. Make that make sense. No, not my dad. My dad's like, he told me all, like, I remember my dad was a taxi driver sitting in the car. My dad used to tell me, hey, look, don't go along with what people think you should do. Make sure you know what's best for you and your family. He put that message of you don't conform to the majority simply because the majority said so. I'm not a Democrat simply because the black community is 90% Democrat, and if I don't vote Democrat, that doesn't make me black. My dad pushed that in me, this nonconformist nature of mine, right? And then when these black people on my comment sections come in here and are getting mad at me because I support Trump, I support Vivek, I support Republican policies, I'm a conservative, they'll go and try to say I'm not black. I'm like, yo, you're not a qualifier. Who are you? You're not the arbitrator of blackness. You just simply have a popular opinion in the black community. But popular doesn't mean right. But I digress. So yesterday, at the time of making this video, right, Trump laid out his I can't even speak right now. Though. That's how like annoyed I am about how all this happened. Like, and this is the hypocrisy of this lady, is because she was prosecuting Trump for essentially doing the same thing she was doing. And this is the selective justice that I always had a problem with the Democrats. They talk out of their butt saying that they want to push out this moral victory, right? But the Democrat Party is a Machiavellian party. The ends justify the means. Hey, I don't care if I'm a hypocrite and I'm prosecuting somebody for something that I myself is guilty of, and I don't prosecute Stacey Abrams for, but I have the gall to prosecute a former president of the United States and my political rival, right? And then they're surprised when independents like me sees this as political prosecution, because it is. That's what it is. If you give people different treatment based on the color of their skin, we'll say, hey, that's discrimination. That's racism. That's sexism, right? You're homophobic. We got all these labels. But the minute we target someone based on their political beliefs, their religious beliefs in some cases, nothing. Quietness. We just allow the prejudice to continue. I'm against prejudice in all its forms. Now, I can have a bias against you. I could be skeptical of you, right? Because that's my right as a personal individual. But when you're leveraging institutions to prosecute someone of your rival political party because it benefits your party to do so, that's a party I can no longer trust, right? But the reason why I'm lost for words is because my dad kind of called it out to me. He told me, like, yo, like this is how Haiti got, this is how we ruined our freedom, right? We put in people who said nice things, but they did everything they can to enrich their families themselves, put their family in high positions of office, right? And at the expense of the people. And that same pattern is playing out here in our country. And my message my dad taught me in the taxi is, hey, just like how I fell for Obama, I'm making sure that you don't fall for an Obama. That's what my dad used to tell me. So now, now we in this political climate right now, a lot of people saying Vivek is in that camp as well. And I disagree. I think a lot of people are taking out his books out of context. They're bringing up quotes that he said 6 months ago. Imagine that. Oh, 6 months ago, he said climate change was man-made. You can't change your mind in 6 months? 6 months ago, I only had one son. Now I have a 2-month-old son that was born. But if I wrote in my book, hey, I'm a father of one, and now I'm a father of two, what changed? Bro, this is why I said I don't think America can handle an honest politician, right? It's because when someone's honest, people change their mind, bro. Like, no one has the same position that they had a year ago, right? When Trump was running 2016, I didn't vote. I was an independent. I'm still an independent. But I didn't vote because my dad put in my head, hey, you vote for it, you better make sure you can take the blame for it as well, responsibility for it as well. And I was like, oh, I'm not responsible for nothing. I don't know who Hillary is. I don't know who Trump is. I'm gonna sit and watch because I don't know enough. That's what I did in 2016, right? And then I got interested in politics because of Donald Trump, right? This is why to me, Donald Trump will always have a special place in my heart because, he kind of made me interested in politics because I'm like, hey, why is this guy getting popular? Why is this guy getting fame? Why do the people love him so much? And to beat something, you must understand it. And in my case, bro, at this point, I'm shaky now. Now I feel like I want to flip and support Trump. Vivek 2028, but 2024, it seems like it's just Trump's year, bro. It's like reality itself does not want Trump to not be the nominee. Everything that's happening to him, it's in his favor. It's almost like the Democrats are working for Trump at this point, right? And there's a Stoic philosophy there was a principles in Stoicism that I read a long time ago, how act as if you wanted this to happen to you all along, right? Find the silver lining, right? Turn adversity into an advantage. This is what Trump is doing essentially. This is Trump's adversity, and he's changing it into an advantage. The obstacle is the way. That's Stoic philosophy. Hey, whatever the obstacle is, that's the way you should go. Whatever's the harder path, that's the path you should go. Because there's a quote I live by. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. And it seems like life follows that pattern. And there's no way we can escape it. So I don't know. I'm gonna address all the Vivek criticisms on my live stream today, because I want to kind of give you guys a tour of the political landscape, at least from how I see it. So look forward to that live stream coming soon. And I want to kind of give this clip of why many people love Trump.
Various groups of people who are advocating for a variety of candidates, but I'm afraid there is only one legitimate choice at this stage. It has to be Trump. It's not simply because Trump is the most popular candidate with Republicans in America, even though he is. It's not just because the strongmen of the world watched themselves under his unpredictable leadership, even though they did. It's not just because the world was more stable and peaceful when he was calling the shots, even though it was. It's not because Trump achieved energy independence for the United States, which is what happened. It's not even because, as a businessman, he knew how to run a roaring economy, pandemic issues aside. It wasn't the extreme lows in poverty and unemployment and the extreme highs in wage growth in the stock market, even though everyone remembers how well they were doing under Trump. And while most voters believe it was the Democrats who ran the economy into the ground. All of these are good reasons to expect that Trump can turn Biden's sinking ship around, but these are not the real reasons why it has to be Trump. I've got no doubt that Rand Paul or Ron DeSantis could very competently implement a similar agenda. However, it has to be Trump, because Trump is the protagonist of an important moral story whose narrative arc has yet to resolve, and resolve it must. Now, you might be thinking, what? Why is that important? And the answer to that is that every moral lesson that humans understand about the world, they understand through the art of storytelling.
It really is a story. It really feels like this is just like someone's in the background, but like, nah, man, this is not how I'm gonna let this story end. And I think this is what really pisses off a lot of people who support other candidates. This is just like, yo, this dude lost the election 2020, right? Regardless if you believe it was rigged in Democrats' favor or you believe it was outright stolen, doesn't matter. He lost 2020, right? He allowed the Democrats to, and Republicans in some cases, change the system that favor one party over the other. I mean, to me, that's as fair as a take I can have, right? And it kind of, infuriates me is that, not infuriate me, but I have the humility to understand that things don't play out how I want to doesn't make it necessarily wrong, right? My feelings about it shouldn't matter. It's just is what it is. Trump is likely going to be the nominee. It is what it is. It doesn't matter how I feel about it. I can accept reality for what it is because I don't suffer from imagination. As much as I think, oh, Vivek could take this 2024 and lead us forward. It seems like, and I always made this point, humans are not just thinking creatures. We're feeling creatures as well. We have emotions as much as we have logic. And to pretend that, oh, it's illogical to just vote for Trump. We need to get past Trump. Well, if we're using logic, a lot of the polls say that Trump is comparable to Biden just as much as other candidates that's running in the race. Ron DeSantis is the biggest example. He don't have that advantage anymore. 6 months ago, he did. But now he doesn't. So those who supported Ron DeSantis because he was more electable than Trump, should you change your mind now too? And this is the case I have. This is one of the defense I have for Vivek, is that a lot of people are holding Vivek accountable for thoughts that he had in 2020, 2021. It's 2023 and you still gonna, oh, he said this about the election in a book he wrote 2021, Nation of Victims. And he was just trying to make a point that conservatives are buying into this victimhood mindset. That was pretty much the point of the quote. But, people, they interpret things how they want to. Right. And I'm interpreting things how I want to, too. But at least I'm intellectually humble enough to admit that. But there's a lot of people who sit here and pretend that they're so objective, they're so knowledgeable, when simply they're speaking out of their bias for their preferred candidate. I've seen this with Ben Shapiro. It's rare that I disagree on Ben Shapiro on something. But with Ron DeSantis, bro, I felt like it was a biased take. He admitted, he was like, oh, this is my subjective. This is how I evaluate, right? He's one of the people that think Vivek is not being sincere, right? Oh, Vivek can't launch accusations without no proof. Like, for instance, with Nikki Haley, I'm going off. This is supposed to be for the live stream, but for instance, with Nikki Haley, he launched that Nikki Haley, hey, you're going to work on the board of Lockheed Martin, right? Like, pretty much insinuating that, hey, you're going to go work for somebody in the future, when in the past, before she ran for election, I guess, she used to be a board member on Boeing. So, like, it fits a pattern. Hey, you was a board member before. If you don't make it, which she's likely not going to make it, you're going to be a board member somewhere else. And you're positioning yourself. That's the accusation that Vivek is making on Nikki Haley. Oh, no. That's out of bounds. But it's not out of bounds to assume, oh, no, this guy's a con man. This guy's a fraud. He's being fake. That is not, it's such a double standard. These people want to say, oh, you're not honest, but you're being dishonest yourself. You're essentially doing the same thing you're accusing Vivek of doing. Oh, Vivek's making assumptions without no proof or evidence. You're doing the same thing. His link about with the World Economic Forum. I did a video on this. You can look it up. Just go, and he explains to you how he sued them because they put his name on the thing without his consent. The same thing they did to Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck's on the World Economic Forum. I don't see no one saying Glenn Beck is a plant. It's baffling to me, but hey, that's politics, right? It's easier to smear someone else than to rise above everyone else. It's harder to be successful than to be envious of success, right? And that's what we're learning with Trump. A lot of these politicians who hate Trump, these never Trumpers, they're just mad because they don't have the admiration, the respect, and the love of the people the same way Trump does. As much as you want to hate him, love him or hate him, he's more popular than Obama, if I'm going by votes. The most popular Republican president in history, according to the votes at least, right? And no one can, you can't, that's the results. You can paint any narrative you want about it, but that's the results, all right? So, you know, I'm in I want to call it a midlife crisis, but a part of me is just like, yo, I want, like, as much as I want Vivek, 2024 is just like, I'm a realist. Like, I look at reality. It doesn't matter how I feel. It is what it is. Hey, Trump's 2024, bro. I'm sorry. Vivek got 2028, and Vivek already said he's not going to go. He's not going to be a VP. He's not going to be a cabinet member. So at this point, Vivek's campaigning to be in the running for 2028. But hey, you know, I digress. I'll cover more of this stuff when we talk about the political landscape of 2024 in my live stream today. I hope to see you there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate you guys for watching this long ranted everywhere video. I hope you appreciate it. If you're interested in the video that I was referencing, link is in the description as always. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.